All right, Chris, first off, give us just an idea of where you're from and what brings you here to Wausau today.
How you doing? My name is Chris Norfleet. I hail from Chicago, Illinois. What we're doing here today is more than just remembering Martin Luther King. What we're trying to do here is to push forward his ideals and concepts for a new society. We're trying to reinvigorate and reignite a passion for equality and change. The most important thing for me at this point in time is to try to bring community together so we can see how we can all play a role in each other's prosperity. And if what we can do in the greater picture is to create constructs and tools for our children to be able to push this ideal and this concept through till the end of time, let's say.
Mm-hmm. And looking at the way that things have been today, whether it's national anthem protests, whether it's protests in the street, what is the number one thing that all of us need to do, the number one question that all of us need to ask to push that idea forward?
I would think the number one thing I would like people to ask themselves is their inclusion selfless? Are you just talking because you're right, or are you talking because you want a solution? And that to me is no matter who it is. If we don't have this altruistic approach to change, if we don't take this selfless approach, we'll just keep talking past each other. We'll just keep talking down to each other. But we'll never talk to each other.
Do you think there's a listening problem in America today? Everybody likes to talk, but do you think we do enough listening?
We do have a listening problem. And I don't know if I want to call it a listening problem as much as an unwillingness to comprehend what you've heard. We tend to hear each other, but we hear what we want to hear out your statement, and it takes a person to be a little selfless to hear what you're really saying. And not just more fuel for my own argument, because often whatever you say, I use it as fuel to further my argument, opposed to use it as a means to see if we've just reached some common ground.
What is the one thing that Americans can do, not Americans, I guess, anybody worldwide could do to keep Martin Luther King's vision and his legacy going today, on what would have been his 89th birthday?
I'm going to put it this way because this is a belief of mine, and I believe that it kind of comes through what I've learned about him, and that is how much is love in our own budgets. I think each citizen, each person of the earth, each person of this nation, this community, we all must learn to have that form of investment where we're putting love in our budgets. You know what I mean? We're making time for decency. We're making time for being willing to listen selflessly. We're making time to encourage positive activity. So for me, the best thing we can do is start inspiring our children, our neighbors, and ourselves to put love in our budget.
Where do you see, on a scale of 1 to 100 right now, where do you see the United States on that budget, if you will? How far do you think that we've come since Martin Luther King Jr. first began his marches?
I don't want to disappoint people, but I can only speak my truth. I believe that up until his death and a few years after his death, I believe people were investing at least 10% in their budget. Some people 30, 40% of their time and their effort and their energy to be about love. And I think now we're hopeful, we're lucky if we can get people to put that 1% back in. We're running on E when it comes to love. Our budget for love is really being drained because we're not